All right, welcome everybody to Footsie Raindrop. I am Britta Dimmler and we are ready to have fun. I've got people here with me live. I've got you all online, which I'm so excited to see you. I would really encourage you to show us your faces. On the recording, it will just be me talking. We won't see you, but it's always nice for me to see you so that we can I know that you're following along and that you're with me, and also that I can give you some instruction if need be, so that we can, like if you're having struggle with a technique, I can help guide you on that. So welcome. We are talking about Footsie Raindrop, and I'm just going to show you this. You can order this from growinghealthyhomes.com if you are not here with me. So it's called VitaFlex or Vitalizing Footsie Essential Oil Technique. You do not need the paper though to do it. Okay, so it is a two-sided paper. Anyway, that's just a little extra thing if you choose that you want to get that. So VitaFlex, we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to talk about the oils. Okay, so VitaFlex really means vitality through the reflexes, and it's an easy way to apply essential oils through the bottoms of the feet. And when we do raindrop, actually the whole technique, we are applying, or we're doing VitaFlex first on the feet, and then we move on to the back. Okay, so the first thing, well, we're going to practice actually first on your arm, and I'm going to explain what this is, but I want you to practice while I'm explaining. So you're going to put your fingers all together. So you see how they're my fingers are bent up. Okay, because I want my fingertips all along the same edge. Okay, so you guys can do this on a lot of times it's easy to do on your arm, and you're going to go over to let's see, I'm trying to see that so you guys can see this. So if I put my fingers together, you're going to go over to the nail bed. Okay, so over onto your nails, and then back to the pad of your finger. Okay, back to the tips. So nail bed to tips, nail bed to tips, nail bed to tips. Okay, so if you do your arm, you're going to go kind of walk your way up your arm. So you go over and back, and then move it up a little bit, over and back, move it up a little bit, over and back. Okay, so you work on that while I explain to you why you're doing this. All right, just trust me on this. So you're going to get good with your dominant hand, because I know we all started with our dominant hand, and then we're going to flip to our non-dominant hand, which feels really awkward, but work on your dominant, get it going first. Okay. And it's just a matter of practice. Okay. So VitaFlex is an easy way to apply essential oils to the bottoms of the feet. And I'll do this with you still so you guys can see. Okay. It can facilitate the relief of pain and suffering quickly, as well as improve physical and emotional well-being. It helps identify different structural and health needs of the body, and together with the raindrop technique, increases the opportunity for healing and rejuvenation. VitaFlex is a specialized form of hand and foot massage that's exceptionally effective in delivering the benefits of essential oils throughout the body. It's said to have originated in China thousands of years ago, and it was perfected in the 1960s by Stanley Burroughs, long before acupuncture was popular in Western medicine. Anybody recognize the name Stanley Burroughs? You know why he's famous?
I do.
What's he known for, Skyla?
He created the Master Cleanse.
Created the Master Cleanse. Okay, so if you've ever done that, you know who Stanley Burroughs is. If you have never done it, then you should look that up. Okay, so VitaFlex. If you got your dominant hand, let's do it with the non-dominant hand. Okay, again, cup your fingers so they're all together, right? And you're just doing it with your fingers. I usually use my thumb as an anchor point. Okay, so that it helps my hand not move too much. So everybody work on that going up. Okay, so VitaFlex is based on a complete network of reflex points that stimulate all the internal body systems. When the fingertips connect to specific reflex points with essential oils using the special VitaFlex application, an electrical charge is released that sends energy through the neuroelectric pathways. This electrical charge follows the pathways of the nervous system to the point of breakage and the electrical circuit, which usually is related to an energy block caused by toxins, damaged tissues, or loss of oxygen. Okay, so we're going to all have circuit breaks, and this is just a way to help reconnect that. Okay. VitaFlex uses a rolling and releasing motion that involves placing the fingers flat on the skin, rolling up onto the fingertips, and continue over to the fingernails using medium pressure, and then sliding the hand forward about a half an inch continually repeating that rolling and releasing technique until the specific VitaFlex area is covered, which is why I'm working my way up my arm. You can VitaFlex your hands, you know, in different places. You can VitaFlex just one certain spot and just go back and forth over it. Okay. This is different than reflexology. Actually, well, okay, I took it out. I read that VitaFlex actually will hit up to 1,500 different reflexology or electrical points in the body, whereas reflexology only does about 350. So this is way more expanded. And it corrects weakened or injured areas through the electrical reflex points, preventing further injury and stress and allowing for quicker, more efficient healing. Combining the electrical frequency of the oils and that of the person receiving the application creates rapid and phenomenal results. This ancient technique has brought healing of a greater dimension to our modern world with its complete scientific workable system of controls that releases the unlimited power within the human body. So you can, like I said, you can do this on your hands. It's just that, well, hopefully you guys have seen this chart, right? Have you seen this in the reference spot in the reference guide? Just basically what you guys have on your there too. But this is, and all this information actually came from the reference guide, just so you know, okay? In the Raindrop chapter. So there's a page on just VitaFlex. But if you look at this chart, you'll see that everything in here is connected. Everything in our body is connected to our feet in some way. And if you look in the reference guide, you'll also see a hand chart, right? So everything's connected to our hands as well. So the area on our foot that we're going to be working on is actually from here, kind of toward the base of the heel on the big toe side, and we're going to work all the way up the big toe, okay? Because this is the spine, and if you look at the reference guide, you'll see this is all spine, and then it's brain and brainstem at the big toe. Bunch of joint has a better picture, it doesn't.
Very beginning when you said it was vitalizing through, what was the word you used?
Through the reflexes.
Okay.
So hopefully you can see, though, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it actually shows like the spine, okay? And so if you look in the reference book, you'll see that. You'll see on your hand, which I believe the hand would be kind of the along your thumb, yeah, but going down into here, and then you're going to work your way up, okay? If at all possible, do this on your feet because I think you're going to get the better impact with that. Jan, I don't see how I can mute you, but you might want to mute yourself. So anyway, if you can do your feet, go ahead and do your feet, okay? All right. So if you are in a hurry or you're not able to get to your feet, like I said, there's definite benefits of using VitaFlex technique on the hands, okay? So we're going to use the Raindrop oils. So hopefully you know you can get the Raindrop collection. This is the most economical way to purchase them is through a collection. There we go. Because it's usually 10 to 15% savings, okay? And inside this kit, you will see you get a bottle of V6, a bottle of Ortho Ease, and then 9 oils, all right? So you're going to have the oils of oregano, thyme, basil, cypress, wintergreen, marjoram, aroma seeds, peppermint, and valor. And those are the oils that we're going to use tonight. So hopefully you all have them available to you. I'm just going to go, you know what, I'm going to go through and mute everybody quick. Okay, hopefully that will help. Jan, you're not connected to audio, so she's not going to be able to hear me. Let me just type this in. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody ready? So we're going to take Valor first. So everybody get out your Valor. Okay. And we are going to balance because we can't, well, we can start vita flexing, but we really want to be balanced as first. So just like in a raindrop, how many of you guys have had a raindrop before? Everybody here has. Okay, and not everybody online. So I encourage you to get one, okay, if you haven't had one. But we need to balance because how many of you, even right now, are kind of like, I'm a little bit scattered because I need to go do this, and I've got a million things on my mind, and dinner burned, and my kids are yelling, or my husband's upset, or I had a stressful day at work, or it was terrible driving home, or whatever, right? And we're in our head and we're like, la, 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 la. When we start with valor, putting it on our feet, holding our feet together, or ideally with your hands, we're going to make ourselves slow down and stop and breathe. Okay. So you're going to put a couple of drops, 2 or 3 drops of valor in your hand. Look at that pretty purple color. Hopefully you guys all have valor. 3 or 4, it's fine. And so these I'm going to actually put, and I'm going to put it on the bottom of my foot. Okay. Kind of right here in the middle of my foot and the arch. And then I'm going to put another 2 or 3, 4 drops in my other hand. And I'm going to take this one, put it in the middle of my other foot, right? Rub it in there. And now here's the tricky part. You might want to sit on the floor to do this, or I am going to have to move to the floor. I just decided because I don't think I can sit up here. And do this with you guys too, so you can see. We are literally going to be holding, ideally, if you can hold right hand to right foot, left hand to left foot. That's better. Okay, so you can see here, right hand to right foot. When you're doing somebody else, you're going to cross, yes. But ideally, you want to keep your right hand to your right foot. Okay, so, and what we're going to do here, this is a really awkward shot. What we're going to do here is, I can't see Skyla's face either. We're just holding our feet. We're allowing our body to balance. So what you're looking for is maybe heat to, like, I mean, you're going to feel warm right now, maybe holding your feet, but ideally you're going to start feeling kind of a pulse. And so maybe you'll feel, because it's your pulse of your body, right? Your heartbeat. And so that's why you want to put kind of the palm here, okay, into the arch of your foot is really the goal. And just breathe. But we're looking to feel that pulse and that energy. Oftentimes it'll come really strong on one side or the other. Usually it's more stronger, usually on your dominant side, whatever your, hand you are, or that, whatever. But then eventually it will balance out. Now, some people don't feel a pulse, but they feel like a heat. So they might feel like your hands, kind of in that area get really, really warm, and your feet feel really warm all of a sudden. So then if you feel that, and it's, on both hands, then you are what we would say balanced. So congratulations on that. So just breathe. If you feel like, again, if you're in your head, take some deep breaths, get out of your head, allow your body to relax. Okay, so breathe, just keep breathing. Because again, if we're worrying about everything that we have yet to do today, or who's going where or whatever, you are not going to allow your body to balance and just relax. Okay, so just deep breath. Yeah. This has probably been over as much as no, you're fine. And when you feel balanced, you can kind of just sit back then and stretch too. If you are, sometimes people can't really feel it. You could also do it here, like on your wrists, and just hold your wrists together. Okay. Again, put the valor on either, excuse me, on both wrists. Hold your wrists together. You don't want to use your thumbs because you're going to feel your pulse, and your thumbs have a natural pulse. So you want to feel it where, it's not just you, like you're the dominant part of the body balancing. Does that make sense? Okay. You guys are all good here. Do you feel like you're balanced? if you've had a lot of energy work done, like if you've had raindrops or massage done, that kind of a thing, you probably will balance quicker than somebody who is not, or who has not had a lot of personal body work done. Also, if you don't drink a lot of water, it will take you longer to balance, okay? Because it's just your body's got a lot of muck to get through then. So make sure, again, that's why it's important that we drink a lot of water. All right, so now, once you're balanced, and just so you know, this could take, if you're just doing this kind of at home for yourself, this could take, balancing could take, 2 minutes, it could take 20 minutes. So don't rush it if you have the time to do it, okay? All right, so then we're gonna take oregano. And you're just gonna put a couple of drops in your, let's see, we're gonna start with to our right foot. So
You start with right.
you wanna start with your right foot, yeah. And again, ideally, if you can do right hand to right foot, that's great. If you can't, you can do it to your left, okay? So you can go backwards, but ideally, so then you're gonna take, then you're gonna take your fingers and bend them up like we talked about before with the VitaFlex, right? You're gonna dip your fingers, all 4 of them, into the oil on your hand, rotate it through there 3 times. That's called activating the oil. So 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to take your fingers kind of down here, the base of your arch, and you're going to go over to the nail bed, back to the pad, nail bed to pad. And I'm going to work my way up my foot, up to the big toe. Okay. So I'm just doing VitaFlex, nail bed to pad, all the way up the big toe. Okay, and then I work my fingers off, okay, one at a time off the big toe. When you're done with that, you go back and reactivate the oils, back to the foot, and VitaFlex up. You do this 3 times, okay? It's hard to hold my foot up and do this for you all. Okay, again, if you can't do right hand to right foot, it's okay to do, I could do it left hand to left foot, but or right hand to left foot, that's fine. But ideally you do right to right because you want you just want to stand there, keep your sides together, connected together, right? Okay, so 3 times up the foot, work your way off the toe. Whatever's left on your hand, rub it in your foot. And then we're going to go to the other hand. So 2 or 3 drops of oil. And you're switching feet. Yep. So now your left hand activates the oil in the right. So a couple times, 1, 2, 3, right? You want to go clockwise because that's the way that your DNA runs, is clockwise to your left foot or to whatever your other foot is, your left, whichever foot you didn't do before. Let's just say it that way. And then again, over and back, all the way up the foot. You want to stay inside the foot. Okay. So don't come out. A lot of times people will come out here on the edge, on the side. You want to stay on the bottom of your foot and just work your way up. And gradually your hands just start to slide up. Okay. And then work your way off the toe. I like to do, personally, when I'm doing this, I try to count to 10 when I'm working on the toe because I really want to activate that brainstem. So once you hit this part down here at the base of your toe, before you get all the way off with all 4 fingers, see if you can get to 10, okay? Go back and reactivate the oil, back to the main, or to the bottom of your arch, and back and forth. I've done this a lot, so I will probably go faster than some of you. It's okay. Take your time on it. Okay.
I did the hair class.
Yeah.
And I did some raindrop, but
Yeah. Okay.
I kind of have my usual.
Again, back and activate.
Yeah.
And one more time. So 3rd time. Everything's in 3s. Up your foot. Extra oil wipes. I wipe it on the bottom of my foot. And we're done with the first, with 2 oils now, right? Okay, so next is, I can't remember what's next. Time, that's right. It is time for time. So thyme oil, okay?
Yeah.
If you don't have, let's see, where'd that note go? If you don't have raindrop oils, but you have a premium starter kit, I did teach this once with that. So again, we'd want to start with Valor because we're balancing the energy. Okay, wait, let me tell you this first. So a couple of drops of thyme, activate, and then back to your right foot or with right hand, whichever foot you're doing with right hand. Okay, if you only have a premium starter kit, I think you could use Raven instead of oregano. So the first few oils we are really, Gary put those in that order or in this order of the raindrop so that they were kind of hostile to the environment. So because it would fight any bad things that are in our body, right? So he chose, oregano. That's a pretty hot oil that's going to really kick things out of the system, right? And bring them out into the light so that we can start dealing with them, right? So the body can start to deal with them. And then, so I think that's where like oregano and thyme for sure are. And so we really, you could switch out like Raven and then Thieves. And then the next oils are basil and cypress and wintergreen. And so those oils really help to clear out what shouldn't be there. So it's almost like, cleaning out, like erasing the bad stuff in the cell. So then we could do, instead of basil, you could do lavender, then lemon, then frankincense. And then the last ones are to kind of reset the cell. So think of, instead of marjoram, you could use digize. And then the last oil is peppermint that it calls for anyways. And then you always want to end with, well, I guess then we'd have Panaway for instead of aromaseeds if you didn't have aromaseeds. And then I might have just done that one. I can't talk and do this at the same time.
That's a lot of multitasking. Just it's okay.
Anyway, it's Panaway you could use instead of aromaseeds, and then we want to end with Valor. That's what because we want to seal it all in. So you could, again, don't think, oh, I don't have the right oils and I don't have the money. Yes, use what you have. Just think about what are the, some of the uses of those oils. If the use is for pain, then, instead of aromaseeds, you could use Panaway, right? Or, yeah.
I'm trying it. I just wanted it first.
Okay. And part of that is just because it's different. Yeah. So Diane said it feels weird to do same hand, same foot. So right hand, right foot. Because, normally we would think left hand, left foot. Do whichever is comfortable. I mean, don't get hung up on that. Okay. It's more about just practicing the technique. And the more you practice it, the better you will get at it. Okay. If you notice that while you are vitaflexing, your tops of your feet are starting to get a little, because we might rest our hands on the top of our feet. That's what V6 is for, right? If it gets a little hot, you want to use the V6. All right. So after, let's see, thyme, we're going to basil. So put a couple drops in your left hand, activate them. Go to your foot. Try to flex it up. Working my way off the toe. So you can see my thumb is kind of resting on my foot. Okay, and I go back, activate. I use my thumb as kind of a guide because otherwise my arm starts getting all, really going all over the place, or my hand does. And so if I use it, kind of as a guide, then it's where my thumb just rests on the top of my foot. It's easier for me to do that. Especially, I think you would notice that if you were doing left hand or right hand or left foot, you would notice more because it's just, that's like, I notice that a lot when I'm giving a raindrop to somebody.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Your hand gets, it starts to fly a little bit. Okay, so 3 times. Work your way off the toe. Okay, and hopefully you notice too, I'm not like moving my whole arm around when I'm doing this or anything. It's just really a wrist action. I know for you guys online, it's kind of hard to maybe to see that as well. So I go to the other hand, activate with my left hand. Again, back to the,
I have a cypress in here.
here you go.
This one?
I got it. Oh, that's basil, sorry. Cypress here.
I just grabbed the bottom. and then took it. I was using that.
So basil is great for, it's great for nerves and for natural inflammation, okay, to support good inflammation in the body. It's great in pesto, Skyla says. What else do you use basil for, people? Who has a basil story or basil? Let's see. It releases muscle tension. That's what it does.
There you go.
Going back to the, well, and then after basil, you're gonna go on to cypress. Cypress improves circulation and it nourishes the pituitary gland. Yeah. So again, back to the right hand, right foot, or whichever foot you're using first. Oh, getting a cramp in my hip.
You know, I could do this pretty easily on the bed.
You can,
Yeah,
yes,
if you can.
yeah, on the bed, it definitely is easier. So if you're at home, you could definitely be doing that. Okay, always reactivate with oil between each time, okay? Because otherwise the oil's just sitting on your hand. And you want to really, you know, every time we Vitaflex, so every time we're going over and back, it's like sending little electrical impulses up through the nerves, okay? And waking things up. Yeah, reflexes. Frequencies, yeah. So you want to make sure these oils are really high, you know, high in frequencies, most of them too. And so that really just helps even more, give you more bang for your buck, so to speak, okay? So did I say, let's see, cypress improves circulation, it nourishes the pituitary gland. Going back to oregano helps to awaken the receptors. And let's see, takes care of the bad guys. I'm trying to say this compliantly enough so I can share this. Takes care of bad guys and it helps digest toxic substances on the receptor sites. So that's why Gary put that one first, is so that it can really, like we said, to be hostile to the toxins and kick them out, make them want to leave the receptors, you know, sites, open those up. Yeah, that was oregano. And then thyme also helps take care of those bad guys and digest waste and toxic substances on the receptor sites also. So oregano, thyme, it's kind of like the 1-2 punch, okay? Which is why I think you could probably sub like Raven and Thieves if you had the kit. Okay, so after cypress, we're gonna go to wintergreen. Yeah, wintergreen has we should probably open this one first because it, you know, has that childproof lock on it, right? Oh, I can do that. You can have that though. And then again, activate 3 times, go back to your foot. Yeah, and as you're doing this, you may start to taste them even where you're like, ooh, I can taste wintergreen, or I take, you know, the last time we did this, I was watching my other video tonight or this afternoon, and somebody tasted like basil. She was like, oh, I can taste basil as I'm doing this. Yeah. So 3 times. Work your way up the foot. And you might be a little bit far. Yeah. Okay. Come out more on just kind of the edge of the foot, because it almost looks like you're kind of like right in here. Yeah. And so that's why I think if you come back out here to the more of the edge, okay. And move on to your left foot or left hand. This is not something you want to do if you have open wounds on your hand, because boy, these oils are like,
Don't rub your eyes.
don't rub your eyes. No, you want to definitely have some V6 handy when you're doing this, okay? So we all have it. And if at any time, our feet are usually pretty hardy, so they're not going to be too sensitive, generally speaking. But like I said, the top of your foot, you may notice, that gets a little red or a little uncomfortable. If you've, maybe you've clipped your toenails too short and, you get some of these oils in there, or ingrown toenails, it's not going to hurt them, obviously, because if anything, it will definitely help. But it might feel a little spicy. So that's, again, you have your V6 or, whatever you have.
Sort of like the peppermint too close to your eyes.
Peppermint too close to the eyes. Yes. It will be a little spicy. Other places. Yes. All right. So wintergreen, right? We're done, or hopefully you're about done with wintergreen. Then it's marjoram. Marjoram is great for muscles. So think marjoram for muscles. Yeah, and generally, if you're going to do a raindrop technique or raindrop, actually, you're going to have really short nails. Okay, it's not so your fingernails have to be really short.
Oh, I know.
If you're going to do a raindrop.
A little too long.
Yeah.
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 That's probably not good.
I know.
Yeah.
Much.
He didn't want one. Okay, his mom did some else on.
So I think it's Maria says that she had a headache all afternoon and now it's gone. It just happens to happen that way sometimes, doesn't it? I remember the last time we did this video, I talked about I had heel pain evidently, but I didn't after the end of this because it was just, and even doing this on myself and being all bent over, it just really helps to relax those muscles and tendons and anything else that's in there. So okay. Stretches out a few things. Key will be if we can all get up off the floor at the end.
I wouldn't do it.
So then flip hands once you're done the 3 times with marjoram on one hand or one foot. Again, you're doing the other one. Way up off that toe. 2, 3. This is a great technique to do too if you have somebody that needs help with bowels, moving bowels. You would actually start, let me think, on the right foot, on the outside of the foot. About halfway, if you look at the chart, the foot chart there, you see where the bowels are. So you want to start at the right foot. Actually, let me finish marjoram and I'll show you. For those of you who are on the Zoom. Okay. So you'd start with your right foot about right here on the outside of the, about right here, kind of the bottom of your, and you work your way up, kind of up to the middle. Actually, you can start at the heel, work your way up, and then go across the middle of your right foot. And then over here, you go to the left foot, across and down. And if you look at the chart, it is the same as, that's how your colon works. So it goes up the outside of the right. It starts there. That's the ascending across, and then the descending goes to the rectum on your left foot. So if you ever need to poop and you're having trouble, or someone who is, that could be a little gift that you give them. Okay, I don't have peppermint. Let's see. Oh, I have it up here. It's all right. Okay, so peppermint's the last one that we're going to do after marjoram. Anyway, though, that really works. I did that once on a baby and who hadn't pooped in a few days and was not a happy baby. And probably within about a half an hour of doing that, she pooped and then pooped a few more times on the way home. And
Wow.
that was a huge blessing. Yeah, that was a gift. I just had a friend who had surgery recently, and that was one of his, issues and the wife messaged me. And so I said, try this with Digest, right? So, and she did feel like it helped. That was just this last couple of days ago. So it's just an extra thing, you know, but you want to make sure you do it right. So you want to start with the right foot and work your way up, because otherwise you can back somebody up if you go the wrong way. Okay, we don't want to back anybody up.
That's training that with care, they said to make sure you do it the right way.
Yes. Yeah, and that would be bad. So,
If I'm going the wrong way, see what happens?
well, you could. Yeah, if you have too much coming out, you try. I don't know that I'd really, I'm not sure how much I'd want to try to do that though, because I wouldn't want to really mess it up and be really uncomfortable. Okay, so the last one here, peppermint. I'm on my left foot, left hand doing it. Hopefully you didn't just get a pedicure, because I think you're taking off your oil on your.
No, I had them put clear on it because I wanted to show her.
Okay. You know, the oils can take off nail polish, especially when you're doing this much, so. Don't need to have a pedicure or manicure right before you do Raindrop, guys, or Vitaflex.
I knew it was gonna be gone.
Yeah. Okay, I can taste this one. I can taste peppermint.
Process alone.
You think you taste it through your feet and just because of the hair?
I think it's because of the feet, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I've never been able to do that.
yeah. And usually it's because it's, you know, it's on your feet and it's just going through your blood. Okay, after peppermint, you can do aroma Cs. If you have aroma Cs, you can, again, Vitaflex it on. If you don't want to do aroma Cs, you can just go back to Valor and Vitaflex Valor on. I think I'm just gonna do Valor. So Valor, after we have made the environment hostile, and we wiped it all clean, opened the cells up, and we cleared out. We reset the cells with the wintergreen and the marjoram and peppermint, and Valor is going to set it all up so that we're done. Okay, so that it stays. Well, aroma Cs is good for muscles, and it's more like a deep tissue or to help relax things.
Oh,
So
but if you're not having.
you know, if you don't have to do it.
For me, it's things, and then gets this muscle cramps where they draw your toes up and it relaxes them.
Donna says that it helps when she has like really bad muscle cramps where, you know, your toes and fingers or toes just constrict and get tight, that it helps to relax them. The aroma Cs does. It's great for any kind of like deep knots, you know, in the body, in the back especially, or, you know, if you have that tension, if you carry tension in your shoulders or in your back in certain places, aroma Cs is a great one, a great option for that.
Not my favorite smell, but it's one of my favorite oil.
She says she doesn't love the smell, but she loves what it does. Okay. Those of you who have your video off, I would love to know if you guys are actually doing this with us or not. Done? Got lots of deep breaths here. Okay, so when you're finished with that one, go ahead and just breathe it in. And just so you know, I'm really stuffy right now. I think that's all this weather changes and stuff is really affecting that. But even if I can't breathe in through my nose, and but I still cup over my head, you know, over my mouth and nose and breathe in, I'm still going to get that benefit, right? Even if it's through my mouth, it'd be different than if I did it all through my nose. But you know, we make do with what we have when we went at different times. So don't think, oh, I can't do it because of whatever. Another oil that you might want to have, especially if you're going to do this on other people, is white angelica. So this is a great oil to help protect your energy. Or maybe you just want to, you know, like you're around people a lot that are a little bit high energy or drama, high maintenance. Yes. White angelic is a great one. And I literally put it over my body, kind of go down, almost like I imagine it as a shield, the shield of faith, right? That goes over my body to protect me from other people's energy and stuff. So yes, you can use it to pray for people as well. All right, so that, you guys, is Footsie Raindrop, okay? This took us about, 35 minutes probably. You, obviously, the more you practice and focus on it, the quicker it will go. I also have watched a video of a gal from, I think, one of the Singapore teams, and she didn't do all the VitaFlex. She just took the oil, like put a couple of drops on her foot, drip it down or whatever. I don't think I can do that with this. All right, I'm gonna do it this way. And then just literally rubbed her feet together like this, okay? And then move to the next oil. So that will also get it on your feet, right? And the purpose sometimes is just to get the oils on your feet. But I will tell you that it's great to take the time and to do this with intention and focus and breathe through it, because it will reset your body, and it'll just kind of reset your mind. It'll give you a new outlook. You may start popping and cracking in places you never knew. But it's a great way just to help you reset and to really to support your body and your immune system. But it's not just to support your immune system. It's literally going to support pretty much every system in your body if you get them on your feet. Because again, if you look at the chart, everything in our body is connected. So even as I'm putting the oils on and I'm VitaFlexing up my spine, if I rub the oil, what's left on the rest of my foot, then I'm covering my bronchioles, my lungs, my thymus, esophagus, stomach, adrenals, kidney, gallbladder, colon, intestine, rectum, coccyx, sciaticas at the bottom of right in the middle of both feet, your shoulders, your sinuses, your ears and eyes, everything, literally your heart, spleen, pancreas, shoulders, there you go. Everything is connected to the bottom of our feet. So as I'm putting those oils on my feet, my whole body is benefiting from them. Okay. So don't get hung up on the, doing it perfect or anything like that. The biggest thing is just to get them on your body. So that is Footsie Raindrop. I hope this was helpful. If you've never had a raindrop, I really encourage you to do a Google search in your area and find someone who can give you a raindrop. If this is new to you and you're like, I'm just not sure about this, get back with whoever shared this video with you or invited you to the class tonight, and let them know that you have questions or any issues that you might have, and they would be happy to walk you through and find answers for you. If I can help you as well, you can send me an email at bjdimler@yahoo.com. And we would love to help you get started using oils. So I hope you have a great day.